A lot of social skills mistakes happen not due to malice, but it's a straight up mistake. It's you're ignorant on the matter. And I'll give you an example. So malice, first of all, is born from a negative intent, while with a mistake, there is no negative intent. And not being able to spot the difference between mistakes and malice will open you up to a lot of snake bites. This is why some people will just keep forgetting like past errors that someone else did to them. They'll be like, oh, well, that was just a mistake. Oh, yeah, that was just a mistake too. And that too. That person deleted all their text messages because it was a mistake. That person was talking crap about me because it was a mistake. That person did X, Y, and Z because it was a mistake, not understanding that they were operating with a dark intent. And let me just tell you a funny story in regards to this. So Wilt Chamberlain, he was this larger-than-life basketball player in the 60s. And when I mean larger-than-life, I mean that he had a very boisterous personality, and he was tall, really tall. He was at least 7 foot tall. And what would happen was different people would just routinely walk up to him. They'd look up, and they'd be like, well, what's the weather like up there? Now, if you're thinking about it, it's like if I saw someone that was 7 foot tall, I want to talk to this person, right? I don't know why. I just have this primal urge to talk to them because I normally don't see someone that tall. I may be like, do you play basketball or something? Or if I'm feeling jovial that day, I may be like, what's the weather like up there, homie? Not meaning any harm. But the thing is, for the 7 foot community, even though it's very small, get it? Small? It's a pun. They don't like that question. They find that very annoying. And they draw a very similar analogy. Like, let's say you find a really fat person, like not just a regular fat guy, like a tiny little belly. I'm talking like morbidly obese. And you go up to this person and you're like, well, what's your pant size like? Like, just naturally, we know that's a very inappropriate question to ask. It's like, you don't ask someone that. So that's when Wilt Chamberlain draws the same parallel. He's like, well, why is it not okay to ask someone what their waist size is, but you can ask a tall person what their shoe size is? And I never thought about it like that. Like, for the longest time, I just thought like that was a okay question to ask. What's the weather like up there? What shoe size do you wear? Where do you buy clothes from, homie? But a lot of tall people find that as disrespect. Now, is this a mistake or malice on my end? It's a mistake because it's just born from ignorance. Now, imagine that Wilt Chamberlain informs me. He's like, Armani, I don't like when people ask me that, okay? So one day, Wilt walks into a social that I'm hosting, and I remember the conversation that I had with him about his pet peeves. But for some reason, I still want to get some jokes off at his expense. And I'm just like, hey, Wilt, come here. Let me introduce you to the squad. And then once he comes, and I'm like, hey, Wilt, what's the weather like up there, homie? Now I'm going in with the incentive to embarrass him. And this is malice. This is dark intent. There's a difference, all right? A big difference. And not being able to spot the difference is what will lead to betrayal.